I think sometimes we imagine creativity as this huge event, like painting a masterpiece or finishing a giant project or writing a whole song or something else crazy like that. But to me, creativity is an everyday practice, and this is where the rubber meets the road in my creative life. This is my planner, and I use it pretty much every day. So today, though, I'm going to set up a new planner, and I'm going to take you along with me through like every part of my process of doing this. I get to do this about every 6 months, and it's so awesome. I love it so much. So can't wait to bring you along with me. So let's dive into this. And if we've not yet met, hello, I am Brenna Delane. I'm the creatrix behind Mud Lotus Arts, and I love weaving creativity, spirituality, and healing. One of the biggest shifts in my creative life in the last 2 years has been not making more art, although that has happened, but it's been weaving creativity into my everyday. And one way that that is totally happening is through this planner. I choose to make it decorated because I spend so much time with it and it holds so much for me. So this is a way that, like I said, I'm weaving creativity into my everyday. Today in this video, we're going to look through 2 of my previous planners and then set up this new one that I got. I'm so excited for this. I've been hoarding it for a little bit of time and it's time to use it. Yay. So yes, come along with me to look through some of the old planners and then see what's going to be different and what's going to be the same in the new one. Firstly, my planner does something that my phone never could, and that is that it regulates me. I cannot explain this in like neuroscience terms or physiological terms, but basically when I work on paper versus working on a screen, I feel like my nervous system calms down and chills out. And I don't know about y'all, but I feel like some chill is something we could all use, especially right now in this time in our lives when we are living through a lot historically. So anyway, yeah, so my phone could never replace this because it's tactile. It's a way that I literally, like I said, I weave creativity into every day, but this is a physical manifestation of that. So you'll see different colors, themes, ways of being in here, and it does evolve over time. So that's something that a phone just can't do. If phone doesn't, it holds records. We all have a million photos in our camera roll in this, but these are also memory keeping things. So that is something else that I love about it, the physicalness of it. And it's just different than being on screen. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So putting this one to the side, we're going to talk about the materials that I use a little later in the video, but I will share that these 2 journals are from Archer and Olive, not sponsored, just love them. And then this one is from Notebook Therapy that I got in a mystery box they did, or I think it was called a lucky box. Anyway, it was amazing, and I got one, which was hard to do because they sell out very quickly. Anyway, tangent. So this is my current planner. This is the one that I filled up previously. So anyway, just wanted to mention Notebook Therapy and Archer and Olive on these. I will reveal this amazing cover a little later. It is so cute. But yes, let's flip through this. Let's get on to it, Brenna. Life with cats is a good life. Miss Ajna Bagashna had to come check out what I was doing. She really enjoys getting on the desk, but it's been completely covered in piles. So now that I cleared it off, she's like, what's going on over here? So after we had our kitty visitation, we can now get into looking through these 2 previous planners. Again, there's this one that I finished a while back, and then the green one is the current one. This planner captured the time between October of 2025 and March of 2026. And so I usually do a cute little title page, and then I wrote a little something there on the spine. I always include an index and an intention page. And then here I added a annual calendar. Sometimes I do that. It's been helpful, to have that. And then we get into some monthly spreads. So interestingly, I was actually using 2 journals to plan my life at this time, and then a little later I combined all that into one, so we'll see that a little later. But at this time in October of 25, I was using my long-term collections journal on the right and also this planner on the left. So I had my monthly calendar in the larger one, and then some other setups that we'll talk through in the other one. Then I move on to my weekly spread. So I do one spread for each week. And there are a few different layouts I like to do, but I pretty much repeat a couple of them. In this other one, this is where I was having my goals and gratitudes, and then also my trackers. I track a bunch of stuff, and I have for over a year now. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. And then in this long-term collections, I had up until December of last year of 25 in this long-term collection. So you'll see in just a sec where it all switches over to, in January, to the planner over here. So hopefully that makes sense. You'll see in a second. And zooming in a little bit on this one, I'll just flip through and show you. I decorate every week a little bit differently, and I wouldn't necessarily call them different themes, but I guess you could call it that. But anyway, December was the last month where I was kind of splitting my life into 2 journals. So in just a moment, it'll be 2026. Woohoo! 2026! So anyway, this is where I switched over to only using this planner. So for January, February, March, the rest of this planner, all my setups were just in one book. So anyway, like I had the 2 calendars before, now I just have the one. It was much simpler, and this simplification really served me because I did feel a little scattered being in 2 books, but that's just the way it was, so no big deal. So have the weekly spreads here, and then the next month, and then you'll see, there's like little tabbies on each month, so that I can easily flip to those start of month pages. And we'll talk through those when we set up the new journal. But yes, in the back here, I have a little note section with all kinds of random fun stuff that just couldn't be captured anywhere else in the planner. So I like to have that in the back. So yes, that is a mini flip through of this planner. And then also we had the long-term collections as like a buddy of it. Now we can flip through this one, and this is my current planner. Whereas the previous was October to March, this one is April to August. So this one again is by Notebook Therapy, and I really like their notebook designs. They are like so great. So anyway, I chose to make this first page into a pocket. Sometimes it's helpful to have a little pocket in there, and the cardstock is a bit thick and already stuck down a bit to the previous page on that first one, so I always just like making a pocket. And then I do intentions and an index because I add page numbers to all of my planners and my journals if they don't already have them. And unfortunately, there are many great things about Art Journal, but they don't have page numbers. Here is an About Me page that I made with tons of stickers and little stuff, and then again an annual calendar. My word of the year is slow. Then I have a bit more of a zoomed in calendar for the time that I'll be in that planner. I like decorating a page because it's fun, so I use washi and stickers to decorate that. And then we get into those start of journal pages with the tabs, so they all have the little tabbies so I can easily flip. And then we'll go through what all of these are, like I said, in a minute. But again, there's a couple different layout ideas that I generally tend to use for the weeklies. There is this one where it's more of a vertical, then this one's more of a horizontal 8-box weekly. This page always makes me feel joyful when I turn back to it because this picture is of my friend G and I at an event. So anyway, really good to have the memory keeping aspect. Also, just want to note, I thought I was going to be moving to Colorado on this page. So it looks like there's mountains, but really, surprise, I didn't move yet. Anyway, so here are more monthly setups, and you can see I have the calendar laid out. At the time of recording, it's not August yet, so I can show you this blank one that I haven't filled out yet. This is where I write my gratitudes. I have a space for highlights in the month and also a little monthly summary area. I like doing self-care bingo as well. Plus a little mini calendar in the top corner. Then the start of month pages, I have a goal page, and then I have 3 pages dedicated to highlights and gratitudes throughout the month. Then I have my tracker. I have a whole video on trackers, which I'll link in the description for you if you'd like to watch it. And then again, a couple different layout ideas that I generally use. Actually, I haven't filled out the last few weeks on this one, so I still got to do that. And here is my notes section at the back of the planner, which just has a bunch of random bits and bobs that didn't really fit anywhere else, and that's something I put in every planner a space. I have a cheeky stationery wish list in here at the back, and that is a mini flip through of my current planner. So again, not looking at every single page, but giving you a general idea. So of these 4, I'm so excited for the evolution, as I said, and now it is time to set up this new one. Revealing the cover in a second. This journal I got in Archer and Olive's Bonnie's Favorite sale, which happened, I believe, this spring or this winter, early 2026. So you can see the little paw prints. That's a clue as to the cover design, and I absolutely love this notebook. It has a kitty cat on the front, and we already saw Miss Ajna come in the beginning of the video, and it kind of resembles her. So when I saw this cover, I knew I had to have it, and I was so happy. Getting into the next phase of the process, I'll flip through this and show you what I've done to start out creating this as a planner, because it is now a blank notebook with just dot grid inside. So I start out with this lovely notebook by actually preparing the binding to be ready to be used. So what I do, gorgeous inside cover here, love it, with the foil, so pretty. This nameplate is scary, we're going to talk about it. But yes, the first thing you can do with a new notebook is turn to the middle section of all the signatures and then carefully do what I'm doing on screen, which is like separate the pages out, and that'll help to prepare the binding to, and then I always flip the pages as well. So just wanted to show you that here, preparing the binding to be used, and that way it won't crack as easily. So anyway, the nameplate is kind of attached to this first page, so what I tend to do is make it into a pocket, like I was saying before. So I'll hot glue around the edge to make it into a pocket. And then this is also like a splash page where I'll do like a title page. The next bit I have all laid out with post-it notes. So what I do is I go through, I haven't added the page numbers yet, but I go through and put post-it notes in the journal. That way I have like a guide of what I'm doing basically. So that is very helpful for my process. And basically I have laid out the entire planner in little mini post-it notes that I cut up. And for me, that's the first step. It's kind of like you could also, I don't know, do it digitally maybe. I've heard of people doing that, or they lay it out in like Google Docs or something, but I prefer the analog version. So yes, I plan out how many calendars I need, what I need where, and all of this, and then write it on little post-its and stick it in. So we'll get more into what everything is going to be a little later in the video. But yeah, just wanted to show you that the first phase of the process is, and then like on this one I drew a little picture, but yeah, the first phase is the post-it note phase. So again, if you're planning a creative planner, it might be helpful to give yourself a guide in this way. This is going to be one of those main monthly layout pages with different sections. So I just kind of know where I'm headed. So as you can see here, I have the entire journal laid out with little post-it note friends. And then in the back here is where I'm going to have my stationery wish list. I know that's going to be in there because it helps me to not buy too much stuff to write it down. Anyway, and then this part is my notes section. It's a bit bigger than the last planner I had, and that was on purpose. And so yes, this is my first step, like I said, so just wanted to let you know. And then now we're going to talk about themes and laying out different themes. But super quick, before we get into themes, I just wanted to go ahead and number the pages. Now I did skip a few at the beginning, and that resulted in 103 numbered pages in this planner, which is so exciting. I just can't wait to see it all get filled up. After page numbers, I went ahead and created the little pocket in the front. I just cut away a bit of the paper, and then I glued the page to the other side. So that's how I chose to do it. The cut was really raggedy, so I put some washi tape over it so that it wouldn't look bad, and that is that. Okay, so we have our sweet little pocket in the front, and that is going to be helpful for holding little bits and bobs. And then also I have gone ahead and numbered the page numbers, or numbered the pages, so that is helpful as well. I did leave, like I said earlier, a few pages in the front that don't have page numbers. It's kind of like before the page numbers start. So a few pages there in the beginning, but the rest have those page numbers so that we can identify the spreads in the index, which will be right here. Anyway, so now I need to pick out a bunch of supplies, because one of the things I tend to start with are the beginning pages, like this splash page we're going to do, a couple other things. So I'm going to gather some materials to get into decorating the beginning of the journal. And I said the nameplate is scary at the beginning of the video, but the reason I feel this way is because this is like the ultimate blank page in the planner, because it's the very first one, right? So I don't know about y'all, but sometimes like, oh, my hot glue failed. I need to fix the pocket. Darn. Anyway, that happens sometimes. I'll fix it in a second. But yes, ultimate first blank page. And also it identifies who the book belongs to. So if that's you and you're like, that's scary, I get it. I feel the same way. But yeah, we're going to make a little nameplate to kind of go over this, I think, for this one. So that is that. And then I also tend to, I covered it up when I showed y'all, but I also tend to write my phone number in the book so that if somebody finds it in the wild, they can return it to me, because these are very precious. Now, that being said, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I've never lost a planner yet. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't lose one now that I said that. But anyway, but yes, just gonna gather some materials. Continuing with the process, the next thing I do in the space of gathering materials is make a few notes on where I'm headed material-wise. So what I mean by that is this planner is in the fall time. That's the time span that it is going to be in the first little bit of winter. So in previous planners, I have not exactly matched it perfectly to the season. So for this one, I want to do a little more of that and match it to the season. So I made my notes and then I gathered my materials, just everything fall related that I could think of basically. And I'm very excited to start working with these. I'm going to explain them all. Every act of creation is also an act of destruction. So I have destroyed the cleanliness of my desk, but I've created a lot of inspiration with all of this stuff. Doing a quick little tidy, and then I'll take you through these materials. So here we have washi tape and PET tape. This is also all washi tape and PET tape, lol. And then we have collage paper and stamps. And these are the primary materials that I use when I'm art journaling, when I am doing my creative planner, when I'm making collage. It's all the same stuff, I just remix it in different ways. So the other thing I want to say about all this is you do not need all of this. No one needs all this. I just love stationery and I love collecting stuff. And so I am like a little magpie going around the whole world, at least my part of the whole world, and collecting things, and the whole internet as well. So yes, you do not need this many supplies if you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm just getting started. Like, please know you can use stuff from around the house, and I'm going to talk about where I got all this stuff, but yes, I just wanted to say that out the gate. Like, I have a lot of materials that I've collected over literal years now, but you know, you got to start somewhere. So, okay, let's go through some of this and talk about where it comes from and, you know, all that, because I want to give you that resource, you know. So, let's start with washi and PET. So, washi is so interesting because you can get washi for like pennies, and then you can also get washi that's like $36 for 4 of them or something like that. So the range really varies for washi tape and PET tape. The difference between the two, washi in Japanese means paper, and so washi tape is paper tape. Now, I don't know what some of these washis are made of. They don't feel like paper to me, but I'm not trying to say anything negative about it. It's just like, that's what washi means. And so this is a super cute example of a washi. And it's kind of a wide washi. I don't know how many millimeters it is. Sorry about it. But yeah, so this one, I got this Halloween set that I was going to use since this journal spans the fall. So, and I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, so for me, that's September, October, November, December is what this is going to be for. So anyway, this one came from Archer and Olive, and I get a lot of supplies from Archer and Olive. So a bunch of the washi tape, this Halloween collection, came from Archer and Olive. It comes in a cute box. You can see that it's like holographic. Anyway, and then also I got all of this collage paper from Archer and Olive. So various places. I last year was a subscriber to their seasonal box, and again, I'm not sponsored by them, I just love them, so you know, sorry, I don't have like a unique discount code yet to give you, but anyway, there's a bunch of influencers out there who have codes, so I'm sure if you Google like Archer and Olive code, you can find one. But anyway, that is another podcast. But these came from the seasonal subscription boxes, so there's like kind of a sunsetty one that I super love. I've used a ton of it. And then this is the ink and something, but yeah, ink and whatever it is. So that's kind of cool and moody. Then this came from a sub box, a subscription box, the December one. So this is like all, it feels handmade. I don't know if it actually is handmade, but it's like a bunch of different paper. And then this is kind of cool. I just got this recently actually, and it's like, hopefully you can see that, the different colors. So this is just collage paper, not just, it's collage paper, woohoo! And then this is a bit thicker, same deal. It's, you know, you can use it for whatever. People use these notepads for a ton of different things. Right now at the time of recording, these are sold out on the website. So if you try to get one, I'm very sorry. I don't think you can right now. But if you keep an eye on Archer and Olive, they're just like one that I like to kind of watch for supplies. And they are on the pricier end of things, y'all. Archer and Olive is really fancy. They do great work. I really love their mission and their whole, they basically bring awareness to like mental health and creativity woven together, which is my whole thing too. Weaving creativity, spirituality, and healing is Mud Lotus Art's kind of ethos. And Archer and Olive, the founder has bipolar, which, you know, I'm kind of looped in with some of that, you know, so it just is interesting because she uses her creativity to, I don't want to say battle her mental illness, like that's very dramatic, but like she uses her creativity to develop her wellness in her life. And that is like so, I just, it feels so important. So anyway, I don't mind paying the outrageous prices that Archer and Olive sometimes has because it's so good. The materials are so high quality. So anyway, I can't say enough good things about them. So yes, got some collage paper. And then the other thing I wanted to call out is you can also use books. Now, bless, I know some people would never ever cut up a book or would never you know, want to do that. But this is a French astrology textbook that I got, and it's, I'm sure, a really good book, but I used it for collage fodder. And the funny thing is, when I bought this, I actually, this is a French copy, as you may be able to read, but at the time I bought this, I got an English copy and a French copy. So I have the English copy. I'm not going to rip that one up. I'm going to read it, or I'm reading it. So anyway, yeah. Vedic astrology. Very interesting. So yes, there is, you know, a lot of good text in here that I've been ripping out. You can kind of see some places where I've ripped, you know, the pages already. But yeah, books, especially if you can find at the thrift store old music books, that is like really epic, like the sheet music, I guess. So yes, collage paper and books. And then we talked about washi. I just wanted to call forward this, oh, doily, this little thing. And I don't know where y'all live, but in my town we have what's called a Hobby Lobby. Not, again, not sponsored by them either. Not trying to call out giant corporations, bless, but it's where I get a lot of my supplies. So, if you have something, it's basically a craft store, you know, but this is something I got from the Hobby Lobby, and you know, I'm sure you can get this sort of thing online, but I try to buy things locally when I have the resources and time to do so. So anyway, and then doily. So yeah, this I got also at Hobby Lobby. So that is that. Washi tape we talked about. There's also, I've mentioned her in my videos before, but, or at least one, I'm sure, but there's another creatrix I love called Album Love Handmade, and she is out of Poland. So this particular washi tape, it's on a roll. Some of the washis come on a roll. And this one is so cool and really neat. I just love it. It's like a film theme. So it has like old photos and like collaged elements on it. So I love this one, and it's from Poland, and I think it's actually manufactured in Poland too, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to call forward, I said it at the beginning of the video, but notebook therapy is also, oh man, there's so many more, y'all. Oh yeah, good times. So notebook therapy, I have some of their PET tape. Where's the other one? Anyway, there's, oh, right here. So this is one of my faves. It's a stained glass PET tape design. So it's like super cool. I love this one. So this is notebook therapy. They are also, y'all, so pricey. It's ridiculous. So I buy from them very sparingly because it's like literally, it's just so extra. But the stuff, again, is like, I love it. I think it's really cool. I think the designs are really neat. You know, one thing I wonder is if they use AI, because it doesn't say anything about it on their website. So I'm like, is this AI? Which, you know, pros and cons with that. I don't know. Leave a comment. Do you hate AI? Do you love it? Are you in the middle and you're not sure? This is another kind of fall themed one from notebook therapy. So anyway, lots of fall vibes in the collection. I know this is taking forever to show y'all, but I just want to be thorough in the resources and supplies section. So yes, back to this hot topic. You know, I don't mean to trigger anybody talking about AI, but it's like not going away, you know, and the horse is out of the barn. If we shut the door now, it's like, okay, well, whatever. And I just like, I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts on it. But anyway, we also have stuff from Journal Say. So I wanted to call forward as well these ding ding tapes that I love. So these are like girl tapes with all these different like cool outfits on and little, you know, some of them are redheads like me, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, this is something I use a ton. I could show you right off camera right there. There is like 50 cards that feature these ladies because I just really like using them in my creative practice these days. So anyway, little sticker girls, I like those a lot, so I use some of those. I haven't used them in my planner yet, but I'm going to see about that. So that is Journal Say. This I believe I got from Journal Say as well. I'm almost positive. It was a while back. It's some mushroom stamp stickers. Those are really fun. Okay, so to review, oh, stamps. We're going to talk about that. But so far, we've talked about washi tape. We've talked about PET tape. PET is a plastic tape. I never said that. Then we talked about Archer and Olive notebook therapy being two of my absolute faves. Journal Say as well. And then stamps are a whole nother animal. So yeah, let me pause and just like get my life together, and then we'll talk about stamps. Okay, stamps. Let's talk about it. There are a few brands that come to mind immediately, and I have so many stamps from this first brand we're going to talk about. Dude, I last year got a little obsessed with this brand, Everyday Explorers Co. Again, not sponsored, just telling y'all what I love. This brand is so heckin' cute. I cannot say enough good things, kind of like previous brands we've talked about, but like they have a monthly kit that they do, and it is so cute. Oh my gosh. So I have a ton of their monthly kits, and then they also do stamp sets. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting out the right ones. Okay, so I know this is a lot. Boop. So yes, all of this is from Everyday Explorers Co. And I just love them. I love them so much. So they mostly do clear stamps, and they've also branched out, and they're now doing like washi and PET, and they're doing journals, which I really am coveting one of their journals a lot, even though you're, not supposed to do that. Anyway, these are great. They are acrylic stamps. So you use them with, hopefully you can see that, the acrylic block. It's see-through, so maybe you can't see it. But yeah, I have some baby ones. And then I have the big guy. And then I also have a larger one that I use with the stamps. And this one is handy because it has the grid pattern on it. So that is cool for doing like longer words. Because I have some like this one, for example, that's a little bigger. So anyway, Everyday Explorers Co. is a huge source of inspiration for me. I am so glad they exist. I will try to link them down below so you can check it all out. All this stuff that I'm talking about, I'll link down below, at least the websites for the businesses. But yes, so just shout out for their kits. It comes with washi tape, stickers, and a stamp set, which to me is pretty wild for, I think it's $36. Something like that. So anyway, I've been loving the themes they do, and their kits are so cute, so on point. It's awesome. There was a snail mail themed one, so I could just gush forever, but I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long. So anyway, Everyday Explorers Co. is a win. Check them out. They are great. The other stamps things that I want to call forward, besides Everyday Explorers Co., which I have a couple more things by them. Shocker, Archer and Olive also does really cool stamps. So I have, these are so cute, the little foxes. So we have like this amazing moon one. And then this is like an eternal calendar one. So anyway, Archer and Olive, also great. And then I did at one point get a couple things from Journal Say as well. So I know we already talked about all of these. So these are texture stamps, and then I also have some bug stamps I just got. I haven't even swatched them yet. Shoot, they were on sale. So anyway, Journal Say is more of a budget-friendly option compared to, like we said, Notebook Therapy or Archer and Olive. Those are more spendy. So yeah, wishing you well finding supplies. It's kind of, if you don't have a craft store in your area, it can be kind of tricky to find cute stuff, but you can also use like things from your home to, use as collage fodder, like brown paper bags and old mail and receipts and whatever else you got laying around. So yes, little bit about the supply situation. I also have so many other stamps, but I don't, again, the video does not need to be 2 hours long. So yay for stamps. Shout out to the Planner Pals podcast. I listen to them a lot when I'm arting, so it's finally time to get into the actual art part of this, or the decoration part. So yes, I wonder, leave a comment. Do you keep your planner or your journal a little more minimal, Or are you more maximalist and decorative in your works? I wonder about this. I feel like I am more toward the decorative end of things, more toward the maximalist side of things, and I just get such immense joy from decorating my planner. And as I said at the beginning, doing these sessions of decorating are so regulating for me. You saw me make those notes a little bit ago about what I wanted to include as far as themes go, and so here I am selecting materials that go together, and what I do is I really go by how it feels. And of course I want it to look cool, but also I'm just like, how does this feel? Like, ooh, this orange feels like it goes with this gold, and I go that way. So I think this does take a little bit of practice. Maybe if you're just starting out, it would be a little trickier to go by feel, but I just think, that's my process, so that's how I choose to do it. Also wanted to share my why for creating this title page in the first place. To me, the title page elevates this from just a plain notebook into something a little more special, and it also is a way to state your intention of what you're going to do with this notebook. I tend to enjoy doing this and adding the page numbers and all of that because rather than starting on the very first page with the first calendar, I think this process of giving myself a title page just really does, zhuzh up my book a little and gets it all ready. And I am matching this one a little more to the season more than I have in the past. That's a little evolution that has happened. So I'm just putting the finishing touches now on this spread with some stickers that are fall themed. And I really do like the way it turned out so far. And eventually I'll probably add some more to it because I tend to do that throughout the lifetime of the journal. But for now, this is basically how it's looking. And yes, I have had fun making this with y'all. Here is the first title page, the first little bit in this new planner. And yes, so excited to have this part. Alrighty, my friends, one of the things about doing this stuff is that it's kind of like a time warp when I do it. So I realized this video, as I've been going through editing as I go, is already 36 minutes long. So I'm thinking I'm turning this into a series because there is no way I am going to be able to set up this entire planner in one video. But alas, I am new to this sort of thing, so I did not know that until I got into it. So anyway, again, here is the marvelous spread that I've created today, complete with a little pocket and stickers and the date of the planner. I have not done the scary nameplate yet, but I did in this video talk through my favorite supplies and a little bit about my process for setting up new planners. If you'd like more info on stuff like this, definitely follow the channel for more and keep an eye out for the rest of the videos in this planner setup series. Can't wait to see you in the next one, and I will talk to you soon. It's been real fun. Peace.